It's 2022, ready to start fresh with videos, and there's not even one I've forgotten to film yet. Oh fuck.
Hey cunts.
Welcome back to another New Year wrap-up. Today we're going over my top 5 games of 2021. This year was absolutely loaded with releases, and at this point it's looking like 2022 is going to be even better, so let's strap in, strap on, and fucking get into it. So I'm going to adhere to the same rules I set for myself last year, where any games I didn't finish won't make the list, so there might be some missing that would have made the list, but anyway, without further ado, here's my top 5 games of shit year number 2, Electric Boogaloo 2021. Starting at number 5 is Halo Infinite, a pretty late player in the game this year, one that was sort of surrounded by a bunch of delays and controversy. This game absolutely blew away my expectations when it comes to 343 Industries' breeding and Halo campaign. They absolutely fucking nailed it, and I think that's in large part to them taking a bit of a different direction to the past Halo games and sort of making it their own. I think this sort of semi-open world formula works really well for the Halo franchise, and I'm keen to see what they do with it next. If Halo 4 and 5 sort of turned you off the franchise like it did for me, give this one a chance, it might just change your mind, and I think it will. I've got a full review for this game in the works, so make sure to check back when that's out. Alright, on to the next one. At number 4, I've put Imposter Factory. This is one that might be a little bit more unknown to the wider audience out there. It's an indie game developed by Freebird Games, though you may have heard of some of their earlier releases, namely To the Moon, A Bird Story, and Finding Paradise, which are all great games as well. Imposter Factory is a 2D story-based game loosely tied to the To the Moon series mentioned previously. You could get away with playing this one in isolation, but I would recommend checking out Freebird's other titles. They're definitely worth your time and money, so check them out. Just be prepared to cry a bit, or a lot. There's not much more I can say about this game without giving too much away, and I really don't want to do that here. It's an experience you need to check out. In short, it's a heartfelt, bittersweet story with lots of twists and turns, so do yourself a favour and pick it up. For number 3, I've put a game that probably everyone saw coming if you follow my content, and that's Valheim. This one I sort of ummed and ahed about putting on the list since it is an early access title, but I thought, fuck it, you know what, put it on there, it's a great game, I had such killer time with it. Chances are you've probably heard of this game, it took Twitch by storm a little while ago, and it took many fucking hours of my life. The way this game sort of hooked me reminds me of the way Minecraft did years and years ago when I played it in beta. For those who don't know, Valheim is a game set in the mythical world of the same name, Valheim. You're tasked with defeating all of the bosses in this world, and there's no real end to the story yet because the game's still in early access, they're still developing that. But for what's there, and how early access it is, there's a lot of fucking content. If you're looking for a new sandbox game to sink some of your time into, definitely check it out, I would recommend 100%. So before I get to the top 2, I want to go over some honourable mentions. My top 2 have sort of flopped back and forth throughout the year, so I just want to get these out there and then go over the last 2. So starting off the honourable mentions, a little game called Biomutant. I reviewed this game a little while back. It's a great little game with some flaws, but it's definitely worth a play. Check it out. Next I've got Deathloop, a game that really surprised me this year. It's a game that wasn't even originally on my radar, but I'm really glad that I gave it the time of day. Really unique experience and definitely one worth checking out for yourself. I also reviewed it earlier in the year, so check out the card above. I don't know which fucking side it's on, but yeah, see my thoughts there. My third honourable mention is Hitman 3, a game that sort of meets the criteria of one that I didn't finish, and it may have made the list. What I have played so far is great and really surprisingly in-depth. The other 2 entries in the Reboot series have been pretty in-depth, but this one even more so. The few missions I have played have just been so content-rich. Next up is Kano Bridge of Spirits, yet another one that I've reviewed recently. Check out the card. This game was a great little experience and absolutely beautiful in the story, visuals, and soundtrack department. Definitely worth a look if you enjoy weird collectathon souls like fucking hybrid games or some shit. Even if you don't, check it out, it's good. Here's a game I thoroughly enjoyed and I wanted to put it in honourable mentions even though it did disappoint me after launch, and that's Outriders. I played this game absolutely non-stop when it first came out and blazed through it in a weekend with some friends, but once you hit the end game, there's not much content there, which is where these sorts of games sort of thrive, in the end game sort of loop. They're finally rolling out some content now, which I think is too little too late considering everyone's jumped ship. But if you can get it on sale and convince some mates to get it, it's definitely a good experience. Check it out. My last honourable mention is Far Cry 6, a game that I was really expecting to be disappointed by, but fuck me, did it exceed my expectations. This has now become my favourite game in the whole Far Cry franchise. I fucking love it, there's so much that works in its favour, and I really need a full review to go over everything in detail, so keep an eye out for that review coming out soon. Okay, so now that I'm done crapping on about games that aren't actually on this fucking list, let's get back to the last 2. At number 2, I've put down a little game that some of you may have heard of, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. I was really hyped for this, and it's a very welcome addition to the Ratchet & Clank franchise, considering we haven't had a proper mainline game since 2013. This series has a really soft spot for me because I grew up playing the original 3 games. It's just so good to see this duo on the current gen systems, and fuck me does this game make use of the PS5's firepower. My god. The visuals are absolutely fucking stunning, and the footage you're seeing here probably doesn't do it justice because of YouTube's compression, it's in 1080p footage, all that. For me at least, it's the first PS5 console seller. And what do you know, I did a full review for this game, so fucking check that out too. Alright, on to the fucking last one. Resident Evil Village. This is probably another one you saw coming if you keep up with my content. I was just as hyped for this game and it blew me away just as much as Ratchet and Clank did, which is why it was so fucking hard to choose one to put in first place. What it ultimately came down to for me was the fact that the week this game came out, I'd finished it 6 fucking times. I can't even think of a game ever that I've played through that many times in a time frame even close to that. This game is truly something else and a massive addition to the Resident Evil series we all know and love. The visuals are absolutely fucking stunning like most games on the RE engine are. The story is great, no complaints there. And the character development. It really makes Ethan a likable dude and gives him some much needed depth. If there's one line I could use to describe this game, it's very Resident Evil 4 feeling, but not in an overbearing sort of way. It's just little bits of flavour. RE4 flavour. This is yet another game that I reviewed last year, so check it out here. Holy fuck, I've told you to watch some videos. And that is fucking it for my top 5 games of 2021. Let me know what you think. If there's something you wanted to see on this list, would you have ordered it differently? Let me know in the comments what you reckon. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and absolutely do fucking depraved things to that little bell icon. It all helps out the channel. As always, I'm streaming over on Twitch every Wednesday from 8:30 PM Australian Eastern Standard or Daylight Savings Time, depending on the time of year. Make sure to drop in over there. We're already in the swing of streams for 2022. Come say hi and hang out. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day today and all through 2021 to watch my videos. Let's hope 2022 brings many more great games and maybe some shitty ones for me to fucking laugh at. See you in the next one, cunts. Have a good one.